Is it the beauty or the beast? We will find out in today's episode. And with that, welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 787-10 from Etihad Airways. At the front of the box we have the cutout, so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Etihad branding. And as this is a 2019 release, the only thing we find on the backside of the box of interest is an image of the aircraft in real life. And here she is, the Boeing 787-10, the currently longest version of the Dreamliner in the current livery of Etihad Airways. Now, with no further ado, let's take a closer look at some of the many details this aircraft model has to offer. And we start off with the tail section, where we have the really beautiful design here that Etihad has applied on their aircrafts across their fleet. On the fuselage, we then find the Dreamliner logo, the Etihad.com branding, and the full registration code of the aircraft. If we move to the front of the aircraft, we then again find the branding of Etihad, both in English and their native language. Underneath that, the slogan of the airline, from Abu Dhabi to the world, and we also have the flag of the UAE. Above that, we then have the SAT dome, which also looks really nice here. We've seen some aircraft models where this has been placed in the back of the aircraft. Here we see it more in the front, and I think that looks really cool. At the very front of the aircraft, we of course have the cockpit, where we also have a little bit of detailing around, including the window wipers. And above the cockpit windows, we have the last letter in the registration code. On the other side, we then also find the emergency hatch for the cockpit printed on. The engine nacelles have been kept in all white, but despite that, they are still pretty decently detailed and nice to look at. We can see here, for example, the chevron nozzles, a particularly difficult detail to pull off, but I think Herpa has done a pretty decent job here. And also, if you look at the front, we can see the engine fan blades. Of course, the Dreamliner has some really nice wings. At least if you ask me, I think that's always one of my favorite details on the aircraft type. If we look here at the top side, we can see all the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. And we also have the markings as to where to walk on the wing. On the underside, we also have some nice detailing, including the full registration code of the aircraft once again. Back to the markings as to where to walk, those we also find on the horizontal stabilizers in the back of the aircraft. On the belly of the aircraft, we then also have the Etihad branding, although slightly destroyed by this hole in the fuselage for a stand, which is not included with this aircraft model. I quite like the landing gear on the aircraft model. Here we can take a look at the main landing gear just underneath the wings. I think Herpa has done a pretty decent job with that. Also, the front landing gear is pretty alright. Of course, we could have some markings, but unfortunately we don't get them, as it is not a club model. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on, here at the backside of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 787-10 in the current livery of Etihad Airways. Now, we have by now had a few 787-10 models from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. I think we can say this is the prettiest one, and that's of course just because of the livery. Unless, of course, you don't like the livery, but I still haven't found anyone who doesn't. Honestly speaking, I think it is still one of the greatest liveries in the aviation industry that is currently in the sky. So, definitely an aircraft worth having in one's collection, as both the print and physical details are excellent. Now, with that, we've reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then smash the like button. That really helps us out. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? That'd be absolutely awesome. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.